Okay, so from the previous video, we know that to crack a WEP key, all we have to do is sniff packets from the target network and gather as much IVs as possible. Once we do that, aircrack-ng will be able to use statistical attacks to determine the key stream and then the WEP key. It does this because when we have a large number of IVs, as I said, the IV is only a 24-bit number, so it can be exhausted easily in a busy network. So once we have two packets that have the same IV, then we can decrypt the key stream and the WEP key. Now, when we have more than two packets, obviously the method is going to work better and our chances of breaking the key will be higher. So we're going to try to gather as much IVs as possible. Let's see the most basic case of cracking WEP key. First of all, I have my Wi-Fi card in monitor mode. So the first thing I'm going to try to do now is just see all the networks that are within my Wi-Fi range. And then I'm going to target one of those networks. So we're going to go arrow dump, ng, 10, just very basic. And the second network that came up is the network that we're going to do our attacks on. So it's a test AP. So we're just going to launch arrow dump against this network now. So we're going to put the BSS ID like we did before. Just launch an arrow dump against this AP. And then I'm going to put the channel, number 2. And then I'm going to add a write to store all the packets that we capture into a file. And let's call it basic test AP. And that's it. So arrow dump ng, BSS ID, MAC address, channel, and the file that we're gonna write stuff to, and our Wi-Fi card in monitor mode. Just launch an arrow dump on a target network. Now, as you can see, this target network that I have here is quite a busy one. You can see the data and the frames it's going up quickly. Well, quick enough, not very quickly, but it was very quick at the start. It is a busy network, so we have a client here. This is the section where we see the clients. So this client is actually I have it actually playing video on YouTube, so that's why it's going up quick and slows down, quick and slows down. So we're just trying to mimic active client here. So all we have to do now is just launch aircrack, which is part of the aircrack suite, against the file that arrow dump has created for us. We can launch aircrack against it even if we didn't stop arrow dump, and it's gonna keep reading the file and read the new packets that arrow dump is capturing here. So we're just gonna go aircrack ng, and we put the file name. So the file name was So this file is still being created. It's still getting larger and larger because it's getting more packets. But we can run aircrack ng with that file running, and then with arrow dump running, and it's gonna keep getting updated, and it'll give us the password once it can crack it. So now aircrack is working, and arrow dump is collecting the packets for us. As you can see, aircrack failed to determine the key within 5,000 AVs. So it's gonna, with 3,000 AVs, it's gonna wait until the AVs reach 5,000 and it's gonna try again. Now the number of AVs actually depends on the type of WEP. So there's two types of WEP encryption. There is 128 and there is a 46-bit. The only difference is the length of the key. So the 46-bit will require less number of IVs than the 128. Now the IVs, remember when we were talking about aircrack, we said data is the number of useful packets. What I meant with that is the number of packets that have a unique IV or have a new IV. So the more packets we get with different IVs, the more our chances of cracking the WEP key. Now we're basically just gonna wait until aircrack can successfully crack the WEP key. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna Control C error dump now. And as you can see here, aircrack successfully managed to get the key. So that's the WEP key for the target network. We were able to get it within 23,000 of data packets. That's because the target AP uses a 64-bit key. Let's see how we can use this key to connect to the network. So I'm just gonna copy it. I'm gonna go to Genie. And we're just gonna remove these dots and use the key like this. So now we can connect to the target network. And here we go. Let's see test AP. And just gonna paste it here. Connect. And as you can see, our connection has been established. So we successfully recovered the key, the WEP key for our target network. So I can just go to and confirm, ping Google, and ping works. So we are successfully connected to the target network.